Thursday, September 4th. NFL football is back tonight, and I am ready for it. This is Scouting the League. The defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles kick off tonight against a team everyone is ready to root against. Whether you like it or not, that is America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, which probably makes this a game many fans across the country want both teams to lose, but I would imagine we will have a winner. And with a game tomorrow night, a full slate Sunday, and a single Monday night football game, it will be a great kickoff weekend to the NFL season. And while you will likely be able to glean a little more from NFL Week 1 than college Week 1, everyone remember it is a long season, so no overreactions to Week 1. Let the season play out. So before we jump in on all things NFL kickoff, make sure you head over, like, subscribe, and share this podcast wherever you are listening and watching, whether that's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or over on YouTube. Make sure you hit those buttons. The most important one, share this with a friend. If you are watching or listening, you probably have a friend that would like to watch or listen to. Make sure you share them, tag them, let them know that this is where you can come to get all the scouting information you need. Give myself a follow. I am Rodrik David at Right Step ADV. Spent time in pro scouting as well as Midwest college scouting for the Atlanta Falcons, as well as 1 year in Tennessee. My handle at Right Step ADV on X. That is Right Step Advising, rsafootball.com. That's my website, helping you take the right step, no matter if you are a scout, aspiring scout, player, agent, or anyone in between. Co-host who you heard from yesterday alongside Jordan Reed is Neil Stratton. He is at Inside the League on X. InsideTheLeague.com is his website. If you haven't gone back and listened to that episode with Jordan Reed of ESPN, where we talked quarterbacks, players he likes, and what he is hoping to see the rest of this college football season, make sure after this one, of course, you head back and listen to Jordan, as well as all our other guests on our archives. Really fun talking ball with people across the country and across the spectrum of different job titles in the game. Next week, really excited to jump in on some Alabama insight. Again, for some of you Roll Tide fans, make sure you tune into that one. Get in and listen to somebody that's inside that Alabama program. Going to be a really fun one, as well as any of the guests that we have coming up. If you are a scout or aspiring scout, make sure you go check out thescoutingcommunity.com. Again, if you are an aspiring scout, help you with networking, set you up for job success, for future jobs, no matter where you are at. And if you are an NFL scout, date and salary, insurance considerations, what should you be thinking about come job time next year? Connect you with mentors, connect you with so many people. If there is something you need as a scout on the road, in the building, I want to help you find it. We have it all set up over at thescoutingcommunity.com. Go head over there, sign up today. And last but not least, go get your Blue Maka insoles. That's BLUMAKA.com. Blue Maka insoles, really fascinating conversations with Stuart Jenkins, Chief Innovation Officer of Blue Maka. Use that code SCOUTING20 at checkout to save 20% on your order. I wear the Blue Maka insoles just about every day. They make a difference. I can promise you that. Let's get into NFL football. The longer that I have been out of scouting for a team, the more I realize how much more I enjoyed pro scouting as opposed to college scouting. Maybe it is because I watch more draft-focused tape now, but overall, the game is cleaner, better, faster. Again, overall, you're watching better players. If you think it's less fun, that's usually the argument I get. Well, I guess that's on you. As the college game continues to look more like the pro game in terms of players moving around, less allegiances. Again, if it's your alma mater, perhaps I understand that argument, but I love the pro game. I love talking the pro game. It is what I love to do. So, really excited to focus in on that NFL, a few things with tonight's game and things I'm excited about this year. Kick it off tonight with the Eagles and that offensive line. That offensive line is incredibly fun to watch. If you want to work on your scouting manual, if you want to look at traits, really for 4 of the 5 positions, yes, you lose right guard Mekhi Becton, who really was a tackle and really was, I would say, the weakest link in that offensive line that was really really good last year. Again, you've got good players across the board. If you want to scout, watch these dudes. If anybody that is working on learning scouting with me, again, we've watched some Eagles tape, traits on every snap, teach tape consistently. They are a fun offensive unit to watch. If you want to know why that offense goes the way it does, it is because that offensive line is really, really good. Again, you talk about a future Hall of Famer in Lane Johnson at right tackle, a developmental phenom in Jordan Mailata at left tackle, a guy who really, really works to do everything right. You can tell he's been coached really, really well. Your center, your left guard, consistently good players. Again, you're going to have some losses there. Those are win-with guys. Those are guys you want that you're not actively looking to replace in your center and your left guard. And again, plug in a right guard and let him do some work this year. Going to be really fun. Over on the other side of the ball, again, talking about the Cowboys offense, I am really excited to see an offensive identity from new head coach Brian Schottenheimer. Mike McCarthy, phenomenal coach, has been doing it really well for a really long time. Coach McCarthy did a really good job using the talent he had and the situations he had to run his offense. Had a little bit of everything sprinkled in, again, from inside zone to outside zone, some gap stuff. Again, stretch the field, play laterally. Brian Schottenheimer is going to have an identity, and it's going to be really fun, really interesting to see how that plays out early in the season as he takes control of this team. Really going to be a new-looking team. Obviously, no Micah Parsons, but this offensive identity for the Cowboys could be a nice breath of fresh air. I think Dak puts up some good numbers in this Schottenheimer offense, and they do some good things between him, CD, his tight ends, and all the weapons he has. As we get to Friday Night Football, this offensive tackle situation for the Chargers. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. Again, what do you do with Joe Alt? Are you leaving him at right? Or are you focusing on the right tackle? Obviously, devastating injury for Rashawn Slater, losing that left offensive tackle. How does this tackle situation shape out for the Chargers? And then on the other side of the ball, is it slow and steady for the Chiefs, or are you coming out firing? This has been a team that expects to be playing late into the postseason. Oftentimes, they're winning really close games earlier in the year. The argument for that, again, you end up having to play players longer. The stress early in the year is a little bit more. You maybe change some decisions. If you're the Chiefs, do you come out firing to really try to assert yourselves earlier in the year, really take control of that number one seed? Or is it what we've seen in the past, slow and steady, build for the end of the year in the playoffs for this team? Going to be really interesting to see that, because I think if you come out slow and steady, you better be careful, because this is a Chargers team that has some offensive talent and could put up some numbers. As we get into the rest of the slate, again, you kick it off Bucks and Falcons. Again, it should be a two-horse race for that NFC South control. Who takes control early? Again, week one matchup between these two teams is going to be really fun. A now veteran quarterback with the new OC at Baker Mayfield, and the Mike Penix experiment fully comes to fruition. What is it going to look like in Atlanta? What's it going to look like in Tampa Bay? Going to be a really fun one to kind of take control of the NFC South. Again, another team want to see how they come out and look. This Cincinnati Bengals. All the pieces are in place now. You got Trey Hendrickson done. There is nothing standing in the way of the Bengals at this point to, again, this week and really throughout the year, control their own destiny. Don't rely on anything else. Get over the injury concerns. Get the ball out of Joe Burrow's hands. What kind of Bengals team are we going to have? For the head coach, it's going to matter because, again, you have to produce some results with the roster you now have. Again, staying in division there, what Aaron Rodgers shows up. Again, Aaron Rodgers, talented a couple years ago, as good as maybe we've seen in a long time, but that was not the guy we saw last year. What Aaron Rodgers shows up for this Pittsburgh team that is in a tough division, a team I think is going to sneak into the playoffs on the back end, but that is really going to depend on what Aaron Rodgers shows up. What does he look like? The arm is not what it used to be. It is still well above league average, still good to very good in a number of situations. Does he make good decisions? Does this roster help him ride into the sunset in the right way? Down the road in Washington, year two for DQ, Cliff, and Jaden Daniels. Really excited for this team. Again, all the pieces are back into place. Didn't lose a ton. Continue to fill this in the way DQ wanted to, the way Adam Peters wanted to. This is going to be an exciting year. I don't believe in the automatic quarterback year two regression. I think Cliff, Jaden, that whole offense is going to continue to do things. And I think this defense for DQ and staff has only gotten better. Again, from that DQ tree, can San Francisco get back to where I expect them to be? Kyle Shanahan, head coach, you get the defensive coordinator back. You get a bunch of pieces back in place. You've got expectations a little bit under the radar, I'd say, for San Francisco. This is a team I expect to get back to that old San Francisco model, be really good, really successful. Again, get a good battle to start the year and see where they end up. As we roll through the weekend, get into some more primetime games, heavyweight matchup between Baltimore and Buffalo. Again, we know the two quarterbacks. It could be the MVP debate again. You get cold weather, running the ball teams, physical, punchy in the mouth. Baltimore, Buffalo, going to be a really fun game. Again, no shortage of storylines, but again, it starts with the two quarterbacks. You're going to go as far as your quarterback takes you in both those games. Any letdown from either of those guys really is going to tip the scales either for you or against you. And then we get into the NFC North. What a fun division this one's going to be. You start with Green Bay versus Detroit. You get the unveiling of Micah Parsons versus the last year's division winner, who really left the year on a disappointing note in Detroit. Again, Green Bay, high expectations, got even higher with Micah now on the defense. Going to be really fun. There should be no shortage of energy in that game, no shortage of bad blood. Two teams, high expectations, could be, vying for that number one seed in the NFC if everything goes right. Really fun game. And then you get to the Monday night football game. Minnesota versus Chicago. Again, you've got a Chicago team with sky-high expectations, warranted or not, a quarterback who's really exciting, but has a penchant to throw the ball to the other team or make some, less than good decisions. And then a Minnesota team that, again, won a bunch of games, early exit. You've got your first-round pick at quarterback, who, again, is he going to be a game manager? Is Kevin O'Connell going to unleash him? Is it just going to be on that defense? What are you going to get from Minnesota? Really see what kind of identity they take on for this year. NFC North battle that is going to be really, really fun between those four teams. Who comes out on top of that division? Really up for debate. Again, going to be really fun in the NFC North. Every game in the NFL has storylines. From the scouting side, much like the scientific method, you got to form a hypothesis and then run the experiment. I guess you're more just observing it from a scouting perspective. Lots of variables, lots of things that you have to think about, but think critically as you go into every game. If you're looking at specific things, specific matchups, think about what has happened, what could happen. Try to go from there and see what's really going to play out. It's going to help you as a football fan to watch the game faster, watch the game cleaner, see some of the stuff between the lines that not everybody's going to see. Teams will certainly need to show certain things at certain times of the year. When they don't, that is when the seats get real hot, whether that is for coaches or you start to see the players' futures up on the line. What will be that early season reaction to Micah Parsons as well is going to be something I'm watching throughout the league. A big 2 draft pick, 2 first rounders, and a player for Micah Parsons. I'm fully expecting to be another big blockbuster name moving earlier in the season. That is the reaction to Micah Parsons being traded. GM's calling around, who else could we now match with our certain unit? Again, what are you willing to leverage in the future to win this year? Again, that's going to be both for teams that are winning and for teams that are losing. You start to think about the rebuild, ownership get involved as we see more and more in the NFL. I think there's going to be another big shoe that drops with this Micah Parsons trade as teams try to match the Packers and the bold move that GM there made. So again, really fun to watch. So much fun. Didn't even talk about week 2 of college football either. Michigan, OU, about the only premier game on the schedule. But you got some big-time players. Obviously, 2 big-time programs. Going to be a lot of fun. So no matter whether you're watching NFL football, college football, you're even getting down into high school football, plenty of things to watch, plenty of players to watch. And whether you're watching, we know you're going to keep scouting.